Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. So here we are with our session number 71 for basic Nahw and Sarf. And also, um, I'm very excited to start our term 3 for basic Nahw and Sarf. I hope you're all super duper ready for our term 3. Before we actually do what we are supposed to do in term 3, I want you to go over with me the longest ayah in Quran, Ayatul Dain, in Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah number 282. So we will cover this ayah in today's session, and then we will formally start our term 3 probably in the next session. So I hope, since you are all very well prepared for your test, which is going to open in few hours from now, you should be able to identify a lot of words in Ayatul Dain, which is the longest ayah, as I mentioned, in Quran. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So here we are with our Ayatul Dain, and let's see how prepared you are for your test. So Ya ayyuhallazina amanu. The first word, amanu. Hamza, Mim, Noon are the root letters. Word is ending with a vaw. If I ask you among the three categories, where is this word coming from? This word is fail, number one. Number two, when it comes to the fail, there are three types of af'al that you have covered in term 2. And now in term 3, you must know that there is fail madin, fail mudare, and failul amr that you have already covered. So this word looks like nasaru, amanu, right? So this one is fail madin. And if I ask you, who is the doer in this word? This is fail madin, plural masculine doer, and wow, very good job, wow, which is representing masculine plural. Waw al jama'a is the doer, very good job. And in your test, if you see something like this, make sure you choose the correct answer, inshallah. Bismillah. So the next word, so here this part is Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, O those who have believed, Iza tadayantum. Tum. The word has a tum ending. Tadayantum. So what does this word remind you of? Dal, ya, noon are the root letters. This word, look at in the beginning, look at the end, right? We are not just going to focus on the beginning. We are also going to look at the end. Remember the ta. You may see ta. There are many past tense that are going to have a ta, because ta is a very common letter in Arabic language. Okay, ta is a very common letter in Arabic language. It is not always going to be alamatul mudare, right? So it is not going to be always alamatul mudare. So when you have tum ending, tadayantum, nasartum, isn't it more like nasartum? What do you think? Now that I have told you that you will find ta in the beginning of many words, you may find ta. So don't be confused with that. Not just only focus at on the beginning, but also focus at the end of the word. Okay, so focus at the end of the word. So tum, tadayantum is going to be past tense. And if I ask you, who is the pronoun in here? What is the pronoun in this word? Ta is a pronoun. What is meme doing in this word? What does meme do in this word? Ta'ul fa'il is the doer, and the meme is for masculine plural. Meme is mimul jama. Very good job. It is for masculine plural. Very good job. Very well done. So the next word, first we will finish all our af'al, and then we will come back and see if we have time. We will go over the fragments of this ayah as well. So the next word that I'm going to attempt with you all is going to be faktubuhu. So look at this word very carefully. Make sure you forget about the fa here. So uktubu. Does it sound like something like unsuru? What do you think? So Sarah already has her answer that this is Failul Amr. Failul Amr. One easy way to identify that this word is Failul Amr is that there is a Hamzatul Wasl in the beginning. Hamzatul Wasl in the beginning, that can be considered a giveaway for that, right? And if I asked you about who, you are already typing your answers. Absolutely correct answers are there. Who is going to be mafulun bihi here, which is a detail. You so how should I write uktubu? Kataba means to write. So how should this word be translated? Give me the full translation of uktubu. You all write it. You all write it. Very good job. Where is all coming from? You all must know that there is Wabil, Jama'a there, which is representative of a masculine plural, right? Masculine plural. And who in here is your detail, right? Who in here is a detail. What should I write? You all should write it. Okay, you all should write it. It is your detail answering your what question, and you have covered in this term that the detail which answers who and what questions is going to be mafulun bihi. It's always detail is always going to be nasbin status. And if I ask you what is the status of who, you all must know it is an attached pronoun attached with a fail. This type of an attached pronoun is always nasbin status with a fail. If it is attached to an ism, it's always jar in status because in that case it's going to be mudaf ilayhi, but in here it is always going to be nasbin status. So now comes a very interesting word. Wal yaktub. Wal yaktub. There is, how many words do you think if I are there? There is waw, there is a lam, and there is yaktub, right? There are three words. Very good job. So skip waw. I don't want you to worry about waw at this stage, but I would like you to answer what type of a lam is this? This lam was originally li, right? This lam originally li is here written with a sakin, because there is a waw before it. This is harf of jazm. This is lamul jazima, also called lamul amr, right? And yaktub is going to be, how do you identify yaktub? What is the identification, or how will you classify yaktub? It is going to be kataba are the root letters. Ya is a sign of mudare. The status of mudare, can anyone tell me what is the status of mudare? This is mudare because there is a sign of mudare, ya. It is majzoom in status. What made it majzoom? It is majzoom, Sajida. It is majzoom because you see, ba has a sakoon. Ba has no haraka. If it was marfu, it would have been yaktubu, right? No problem, my dear. It would have been yaktubu in marfu form. In case of mansoob form, it's going to be yaktuba. But in majzoom form, it's going to be yaktub. What made it majzoom? Lamul amr or lamul jazima. How are you going to say that this is going to be lamul jazima? First of all, the first giveaway is mudare is majzoom after it. The second giveaway for this is the lam. The lam has a sakoon because it is present after harf atf. Anytime lamul amr or lamul jazima is seen after harf atf waw, fa, or thumma, it drops its kasra. Instead of being written as li, it is written with a sakoon, right? There was a waw that made it have a sakoon. Wal yaktub bainakum katibun. So in here, who is the doer of the action? Then who should write it? Somebody should write. Katibun is the doer. Katibun is the doer for wal yaktub, and this form of command is being used here so that we can have another doer other than a pronoun. If it was uktub, there would have been no doer mentioned. There would be only a pronoun mentioned. But when we have to specify a doer, when we have to specify a doer, like this specific person should write, so the scribe must write. So scribe has to come, not any he has to write, right? It does not say that, you write or any he writes. No, it is very specific. When you have to bring in a specific ism, then you can use lamul amr with person, lamul amr with third person, and there can be a possibility of an outside doer, which is katibun in this case, right? So then the katib should write bainakum, between them, bil adli. How should he write? He should write it with justice, right? Is this clear to all of you? Everyone got it? That why we have 4 different ways of command, right? 4 different ways of commands used in Quran, and this is one of the ways. Before you saw regular Filul Amr, it was originally taktubuna. You removed the ta, made it majzoom by removing the noon, taktubuna, noonul i'rab or noonul rafa got away, and then the word could not be pronounced any longer, and we used hamzatul wasl to pronounce the word. So now it's, if I have to start from hamzatul wasl, I'm going to read it as uktubu, right? Is this clear? So 2 command forms, one after another, you have been able to see. Then comes your wala ya'ba. Wala ya'ba katibun. This la, what do you think is the type of a la? The word after it is, what type of a word is after la? Look at it carefully. So this la, some are saying it is la nahiya. There is a mudare after it. Hamza ba ya are the root letters of this word. Okay, just to help you, Hamza ba ya are the root letters of this word. You are seeing a mudare. So ya, if Hamza ba ya are the root letters, so this ya is alamatul mudare in the beginning, and this la that made mudare majzoom, made it lose its ya, is going to be la nahiya. Because if it was la nafiya, it would have been la ya ba. Okay, the ba, ya would have been there. There would have been no dropping of the weak letters. But you are seeing no longer your weak letter, so you have to assume that this la is la nahiya, and ya ba is your mudari majzoom after it, and katibun is going to be labeled as ya ba katibun. Katibun, how should I label katibun? It is a doer. Very good job. It's a file, or it's a doer for fail. Ya'ba. And the scribe should not refuse, right? Katibun should not refuse, right? And he should not refuse, right? You are doing forbidding in a third person. Are you noticing that? That a scribe should not refuse. There is a forbidding being done to a third person, right? Everyone got it? With yaba, a scribe should not, here you are not going to worry about third person any longer. You will say a scribe should not refuse, right? What should he not refuse? Yaktuba. Ay yaktuba. Yaktuba, what is the type of a word in here? If I give you this word, yaktuba, is it failul amr, fail mudare, or is this fail madin? Which type of fail? It is mudare. What is the sign of mudare? Ya is the sign of mudare. Kataba. Now I'm going to ask you, what is the status of your fail mudare? Very good job, Anita. Ya is in the beginning. Mudare is mansoob. Can somebody tell me what made it mansoob? An. Very good job. An made it mansoob, and yaktuba is mudare mansoob bi an. And if I ask you, what is the pronoun in this word? Can somebody tell me what is the pronoun in this word? Hua. So I will kindly request everyone, if you know something that this class does not know, it is not recommended that we put those answers that I'm not even asking, right? We cannot answer the questions that I am not asking, because that is going to make other people confused. That, they will be, what is this answer? What is this doing here? So please make sure, write the answer for a question that I'm asking, right? So I hope you all will understand where I'm coming from. I do not want any of the students to get confused with a question, with an answer that I have not even asked, right? So yaktuba is mudare mansoob, and it is mudare because of ya and mansoob because of fatah, right? Everyone, easy. And an is something that has made it mansoob. Now I'm going to show you another word, allamahu. So allama, does it sound like something that we have covered? Allama, fail madin, right? There is allama is fail madin, fail madin. Who is going to be your, what is going to be the labeling for who? It is going to be any time when I say fail madin, any attached pronoun like who, kaf is going to be mafulun bihi. All the has, all the kafs are going to be your mafulun bihi. So if it was kum here, it would have been maful bihi. Kaf is going to be mafulun bihi. Who is going to be here? Going to be mafulun bihi, because it's a detail. Who did he teach? Allama means to teach. He taught. So we see lafzul jalala in marfu form. So it's, should I translate it as he taught him, or should I translate it as Allah taught him? Allah taught him, right? Allah taught him. Very good job, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taught him, right? Now comes another interesting word. And so who, huwa of allama is going to get cancelled. Who is mafulun bihi, detail, and lafzul jalala is your doer. Everyone with me? Type 1 if you are. Then before we go on to the next word, falyaktub. Falyaktub. So now how many words are there? Is this one word, 2 words, or 3 words? There are 3 words. The first word we have not covered, so we don't worry about it. This is fa, which means then. It is a connector, atf, and then comes your lam, after which you find your mudare in which form? Rafa, nasb, or majzoom form. So you already have identified it as your lamul amr, because this lam, which came after fa, which was harf atf, dropped its kasra, took upon itself a sakin, because this is how it works. If there is a waw before it, or summa before it, or fa before it, it is no longer written with a kasra. It takes upon itself a sakin, and then this lamul amr is making a mudare majzoom. Waw, summa, fa, if they are present before lamul amr, waw, summa, fa, as Rabia has typed, if they are present and they are atf, harf atf, and present before lamul amr, will make it drop its kasra, because usually it is spelled as li, right? And this lam is going to take upon itself a sakin. Does it answer your question, Tehmina? Are you with me now? Remember, there's a slide in there. You have you will have this, your slide, and it's on. This is your lamul amr. This is your lamul amr with mudare majzoom. Uktubu is your regular standard failul amr. Ranas. Uktubu is your regular standard failul amr. This one is lamul amr with mudare majzoom. In failul amr, in a standard failul amr, what did I teach you? Will you be able to see alamatul mudare in standard failul amr? What do you think? We have been doing it very many times, and it's a little unfair that we don't pay attention here. So here, when I was teaching you this concept of failul amr, remember, failul amr is not going to have any alamatul mudare in it. Remember that. The first step is, what is the first step to make a standard failul amr? You take off your alamatul mudare. You remove your alamatul mudari. But when we were learning about lamul amr, the first thing that we covered, the lamul amr with mudare majzoom as a way of commanding someone. Did we remove our alamatul mudare? No, we did not, right? So you call this lam as lamul amr and mudare after it is mudare majzoom, and understand it as a way of commanding. Okay, you understand it as a way of commanding. Does it make things clear to you all, that how you are going to understand lamul amr with mudare majzoom, right? Keep that in mind. Lamul amr with mudare majzoom. Felul amr. Felul amr is going to be spelled like, it is going to never have alamatul mudare with it. Okay. Yeah, lamul amr, commanding without taking away lamatul mudare, you will just have mudare majzoom after it. There is nothing going to happen to mudare. It's just going to be with in the majzoom form with lamul amr. But in standard felul amr, like ihdi, do you find your ta there, which is alamatul mudare? In jahid, in kul, when you read 5 kuls in Quran, do you find your alamatul mudari in kuls? No? There is no alamatul mudari. In Felul Amr, in standard Felul Amr, you will not have alamatul mudari. Keep that in mind, inshallah. Then comes wal yumlil. Wal yumlil. Wow is going to be considered again wow atf, connector, right? Atf. And lam is again written with a sakin. And you see a mudare in which form? Yumlil, mudare is again majzoom. This kasra is a temporary kasra for meeting of two sakins. Yumlil is with a kasra, but is getting a yumlil is originally with a sakin, with a sakun, but it got a kasra for iltaqai sakinain. Okay, keep that in mind. So this is a temporary kasra. Okay, so lam is there in here is also lamul amr, and mudare is in which form? In majzoom form. Yes, yes, Afifa. So now wal yumlil allazi alayhi al. So who is the doer of this yumlil? Can anybody tell me? Is it al-haqqu, or there is an ism right after it which can be possibly the doer? Allazi. Yes, very good job. So then the one upon whom it is mandatory, he should make sure to have an imla written, have this in writing. Okay, is this clear? Allazi is going to be the doer. It is ism mawsool. I have taught you this concept in term 1, that these are the asma that connect what comes after them to what is before them, right? They are non-flexible or mabni. And in here, if I ask you if it is the doer for yumlil, what will be the status of allazi? It is going to be rough in status. Very good, Jabiram. Very well done. The next concept or the next word that we are going to do together is wal yattaqi. Wal yattaqi. Again, this lam is going to be, how should I, the same? I'm going to call it lamul amr, right? Lamul amr. And you can see here, how is this word majzoom? Can anyone tell me how we have found this word majzoom? What is the sign of majzoom status? The ya got dropped. Waw, qaf, ya are the root letters of this word. The ya at the end, which was a weak letter, got dropped, and that is the sign of majzoom status. Very well done. Omission of the weak letter at the end of the word is a sign of mudare majzoom in word wal yattaqi. So who should he fear? Allah. So what will be the i'rab, or what will be, how will be labeled lafzul jalala here? Mafulun bihi, very good job. It is maful bihi. Who should he be fearful of? Who should he have consciousness of? It is Allah, his Rabb, he should be conscious of, right? Okay, the next word, la yabkhas. La yabkhas. This la, what type of la is this? Is this la nafiya or nahiya? So Sarah says that this is nahiya. Sarah, what made you think that this can only be la nahiya? Your answer is correct, Afifa and everyone. You are all typing the right answer. This la is not lamul amr. This la is la nahiya. When you go back to your list, do not forget here in your list, you will find this la as la nahiya. Okay. Do not call it lamul amr because lamul amr is going to be just written with lam with a kasra. This la has how many letters in it? Can anyone count letters in this word la for me? There are two letters. There is la, lam, and then there is alif after it, right? So it is la, right? With two counts. So there are two letters, but li is, first of all, it is written with a kasra. And this lam, la nahiya, has a fatha. This lam has a fatha. And also, this la is followed by an alif after it, right? There is an alif after this la nahiya. So come back and look at this one. La yabkhas. La is going to be la nahiya, right? And what do we expect after la nahiya or la jazima? We expect mudare in the majzoom form. Is my mudare in its majzoom status? Yes or no? Yes, it is. And the sign of majzoom status in yabkhas is, what is the sign of majzoom? Is a sakin. Very good job. Very well done. So he should not reduce from it anything, right? So is this clear to all of you that how we are going to label this la as la nahiya? I hope you're all with me. If it was la nafiya, what would have been the haraka on scene? What would be the haraka on scene, my dear students? There would be dhamma. Very good job. It is going to be written with the dhamma, right? If la was nafiya, la nafiya, bring no change. Default status is rafa. So in that case, if it was la nafiya, it would have been la yabkhasu, right? La yabkhasu. Then you have another word here. Okay. So I do not, okay, this word kana. What do you think if I have to put it in any category, failul amr, fail madin, or fail mudare, which category can I put this word in? Kana. Madin, very good job, right? It is kavana originally, but there are some changes that happen. It is fail madin, okay? It is pure fail madin. Very good job, everyone. Then the next word I want you to focus on is yastati'u. Yastati'u, do you, what type of word it is? Ya is going to be your alamatul mudari. The status in here, the status of fail mudari is going to be, what is the status of yastati'u? It is rafin status. Rafin status. Mudare, rafin status. What is the type of la here? La nafiya, because it did not, no, nafiya. Everyone, it is nafiya because it did not bring any change to mudare. It didn't touch it, right? Mudare is in its default form. So this la is going to be considered la nafiya. Okay. Ain yumilla. If I ask you, what is the status of yumilla? It was originally yumlila. It is, what is the status? It is mansoob. And what is the sign of mansoob status in word yumilla? Fatha, very good job. And what made it mansoob? Can anyone tell me what made it mansoob? An in the beginning made it mansoob. Very well done. Beautiful job, everyone. Fal yumlil. Again, you see something. There are three words. There are three words. There is a fa, there is a lam, and then there is yumlil, right? So the fa in here is going to be considered atf, right? It is connector. Then lam with sakin is lamul amr, and mudare is majzoom after it, and the sign of majzoom status in here is sukoon. Very good job, Rabia. Beautiful job. And waliyuhu. Waliyuhu in here, well, how can we waliyu? What is waliyu doing here? Doer. Very good job, Tehsina. It is the file for fail yumlil. It is the file for fail yumlil, and who is going to be its mudaf ilayhi. I'm seeing you guys are typing in here. So in here, who is going to be mudaf ilayhi, and the status is going to be always and always and always and always jar, right? No, who is always going to be jar when it is attached to an ism, right? In within ism, it is always going to be jar in status. Now, a long word, but don't be confused, and just see, you're going to be able to identify it, right? First, tashhidu. So now this word with the hamzatul wasl, first tashhidu, and the context should also help. Yes, this is failul amr. Then you take as witness, then you seek witnesses, right? As you seek witness. Does it make sense? So this is your failul amr. Every fail has a file or a pronoun, to be precise, because fail can be majhul too. In that case, there is going to be no file in Arabic. So this one, what is the file of fail? Is tashhidu. Wow is the file. Very good job. Very well done. Shahidaini. Shahidaini. What is the status of word shahidaini? It is mafulun bihi. You're correct, typing the right answers. Very good job. How is it mansoob? What is the sign of mansoob status in word shahidaini? There is a ya in there in word, which is the sign of mansoob status. Very good job. Very good job. So you take who do you seek as witness? Two witnesses. Min rijalikum, from your men. Okay. Lam yakuna. Something, have we covered this in our term 2? Is this something that I have covered with you in term 2? Okay. Yes. So lam is going to be harf jazm. Yakuna is going to be mudare. Can I call yakuna as mudare? Is it mudare? Kaf, waw, noon are the root letters, and mudare is majzoom, right? Mudare is majzoom. And what is the sign of majzoom status of mudare in word yakuna? Noon got dropped. Very good job. It was originally yakunani. Lam made it drop its noon and made it majzoom. Ya is the sign of mudare. The sign of majzoom status is dropping of noon. And lam is harf jazmin. Wa nafiyin. Wa qalbin. Why do we call it qalbin? Because it changes the tense. Just like our heart changes all the time, it likes something for some time, and then it gets hooked to something else. So similarly, this word derives its name from the heart, because it undergoes a lot of changes, and this lam changes your present tense into the past tense. Make sense? So then comes your word tardawna. 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 What type of a word is tardawna? From the 3 words that we have covered, it is mudare. What is this alamatul mudare? Ta is alamatul mudare. Who is the doer in this fail? Can you see the doer? Is ta the doer? Are you sure? There is waw, that is a doer. What is the status of this fail mudare? Give me the status of this fail mudare tardawna. It is rough in status. What is the sign of rough status in this fail mudare? The noonul i'rab. Noonul i'rab. Now this noon is a sign of rough status. This waw is the doer. When the waw and ta are together, the doer of the action is antum, right? When ta and waw are together, it is antum tardawna, right? You all are pleased, right? If it was yardawna, it would be they all are pleased, right? So Wawil Jama'a is going to be there, but if it is there with ta, you translate it as you all. If it is there with ya, you translate it as they all. Is this clear, everyone? Alhamdulillah. Okay, the next word, tadilla. Dod, lam are the root letters. So let's see if my class is able to identify this word. Failul amr, fail mudare, fail madin. This is, ta is the sign. Tehmina is saying that ta is the sign there. And this is fail mudare. Dod, lam were the root letters. So ta is alamatul mudare. Now the next question, it is, what is the status of mudare? And Ruqayya already answered. It is nasb in status. And what is the sign of nasb status? Because mudare is going to be able to show you its nasb status in three ways. Either it is going to have dropping of the noon in case of afalul khamsa, or it will have a clear fatha, visible fatha, or fatha is going to be muqaddara. Fatha is going to be muqaddara or assumed only in case of alif. Otherwise, your word is going to have a clear fatha, which in this word is having a clear fatha. Lam has a clear fatha. So this is mudare mansoob bil fatatu zahira. What made this mudare mansoob? What made it mansoob? You are seeing your an before it, which is one of your haruf nasiba, very helping and very generous, helps many other as well. And the beauty of this an is that most of the time its help is very quiet, very silent. Okay, it doesn't boast, right? He does not invalidates his charity bil man wal aza, right? Very good job. So tadilla, if I ask you what could be the possible pronoun in fail tadilla, what could be the possible pronoun? So think about it. Tadlila, so it can be hiya tadilla, or it can be anta tadilla, right? Because there is no vow there, so antum is not a possibility, right? There is no vow there, so it is either can be anta or it can be hiya, right? There are only two possibilities. Tadlila, originally it was tadlila. So in here, it and after anta, so if one of them forgets, so one of them is ihdahuma. So can it be possible that this ihda is the outside doer for this fail? If one of them two forgets, tadilla means to forget here in this context. So ihda is if ihda is an outside doer, so now tell me, is the pronoun in this word hiya or anta? One of them two. It is going to be hiya, because in case of anta, it will not be able to take or accept any outside doer, right? It cannot take an outside doer, right? Anta cannot take an outside doer, but hiya can take an outside doer. So this is hiya tadilla. It is hiya tadilla, and ihda is the outside doer. One of them two. Ihda is a word. One, ihda is one word, which is rafin status, and huma is its mudaf ilayhi. Okay, this is mudaf ilayhi as Iram has typed. Is this clear, everyone? This is important that we analyze it correctly. Afifa, are you with me? Right? Alhamdulillah. So because this is a time when we can practice and we can, if there is something that we are still unsure about, we can cover that, right? So tadilla originally was tadlila, and doesn't matter how it's written. It is, for ease, it is changed into tadilla. It is mansoob in form because of an. It's showing its mansoob status by the presence of a fatha. When it is showing its mansoob form by the presence of fatha, the status is done. It is fail mudare because of ta, alamatul mudare ta. And now the question comes, just like tansuru, it can be hiya tansuru and it can be anta tansuru as well. But now in here, we have an outside doer for tadilla. So there is only a possibility for either huwa or hiya to take an outside doer. So this cannot be anta tadilla. It is only and only hiya tadilla that has an outside doer, here got cancelled by ihda. One of them two. Ihda is one. Okay, Rukaiya, got it? And alhamdulillah. Fatuzakkira, fatuzakkira. Tuzakkira, what do you think about this one? Zal, kaf, ra are the root letters. Tu is in the beginning. This is going to be tuzakkira. It cannot be majhul. Think about it. This is mudare. First of all, this is mudare. Tuzakkira is mudare. And this is mudare ma'loom, right? If it was mudare majhul, it would have been u'a. Kaf has to have a fatha. Kaf has to have a fatha for it to be passive or majhul, right? Tuzakkara, if it was tuzakkara, then it is, then I would take your, that this is, I need to think about naibul file, but this tuzakkira is this is ma'loom, okay? Easy? Are you understanding that this is not u'a, this is u'i in mudare, so this is going to be ma'loom, not majhul. And again, tuzakkira can be anta tuzakkira, it can be hiya tuzakkira, but again this has ihda as an outside doer, so this is going to be hiya tuzakkira. That one of them is going to remind al-ukhra, the other. And al-ukhra, based on the context now, what will be the status of al-ukhra? What do you think? Al-ukhra is going to be, is it? So if one of them forgets, then the other is going to be reminding her. So the other, al-ukhra, you are saying al-ukhra is going to remind, and ihda in here, you are going to treat it as, then what is going to be the status for ihda? What do you think? Both of them, you are making mansoob? Are you sure that both of them are going to be mansoob? One is a doer and one is a detail, isn't it? One is a doer and the other is a detail. Because this is how I remember. So in here, think about it. So if one of them forgets, then one of them will remind al-ukhra, the other. So no. One of them forgets. So al-ukhra is a detail, and ihda is going to be the doer. Both are, don't, when the word is ending with alif, I'm going to teach you, inshallah, in your advanced class, that don't call them mabni, okay? Don't call your words ending with alif as mabni. Inshallah, we are going to cover how we are going to label them in the next term, not in the next term particularly, in future I'm going to teach you how to treat them, okay, inshallah. So this one ihda, because just like your words can take your af'al that end with alif, take damatul muqaddara, fatatul muqaddara, this word can also do the same. So we all, in advanced grammar, inshallah, you are going to learn how you are going to treat it. So you can say that, this ihda is the outside doer for tuzakkira. One of them is going to remind, al-ukhra is a detail, one of them is going to remind who? The other. And does it make sense? Can I make it, can I do the translation like that? Then one of them is going to remind the other. So one of them who is reminding is the outside doer. Al-ukhra, who she is reminding, is going to be the receiver of an action, and it's going to be mafulun bihi. Al-ukhra is not a broken plural here. It is not a broken plural, right? It's just singular here, okay? Keep that in mind. It is feminine singular. Okay, then, so now I have to end the session here. We will inshallah continue with our ayatul dain, and we will start our jumla ismiya in the next session. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May Allah put barakah in your time, in your amal, in your ilm, and accept all your efforts that you're doing in his for his sake, and keep you sincere in his path. Okay, so I'm very excited for term 3. I'm sure that you're going to work even harder, inshallah. Okay, so take care of yourselves.